You know the moment. You open your laptop because you want to download something simple. Maybe it's a document someone sent you, a program you want to try, or a file for work. And before the download even begins, a message appears on the screen, storage almost full. And immediately you pause and think, wait, how is that even possible, because you remember deleting files recently? Maybe you cleaned up your desktop, removed some old videos, or deleted a few folders you didn't need anymore. Maybe you even emptied the recycle bin just to make sure everything was really gone. And yet somehow your computer is telling you the exact same thing again. Your drive is full. For a lot of people, this feels confusing. Sometimes it even feels like your computer is exaggerating. But the truth is much simpler. Your computer is constantly creating files behind the scenes, even when you're not actively saving anything yourself. Every time you open a program, browse a website, or watch a video, your system quietly creates small pieces of data in the background. Most of these files are invisible. You never see them in your normal folders, but they slowly accumulate over time. Think of your hard drive like a closet. When the closet is new, everything fits easily. Your clothes are organized, there's plenty of space, and it feels like you could keep adding things forever. But slowly, small items begin to pile up. A jacket you rarely wear, a box you meant to sort later, shoes pushed into the corner. Each item seems small and unimportant, but together they fill the closet. One day you open the door and suddenly realize there is barely any space left. The same thing happens inside your computer. Small files appear everywhere. Temporary files, old downloads, installer packages, cached images, system logs, and leftover data from programs you removed months ago. Individually, these files are tiny, but together they slowly consume gigabytes of storage space. And because they are hidden or scattered across the system, it's easy to forget they exist. One of the biggest causes is temporary files. Temporary files are created by almost every program you use. When you open a document, your system may create a backup copy. When you install software, the installer extracts files needed for the process. When your browser loads a website, it saves pieces of that page locally so it can load faster the next time. These files are meant to be temporary. In theory, they should disappear automatically after they are no longer needed. But in practice, that doesn't always happen. Sometimes programs forget to remove them. Sometimes the system keeps them longer than necessary. Over time, thousands of these small files begin to accumulate. Each one may only take up a little space, but together they can easily consume several gigabytes without you noticing. System updates are another reason storage disappears. When your operating system installs an update, it often keeps backup versions of certain files. This allows the system to return to a previous version if something goes wrong. While that safety feature is useful, those backups can take up a surprising amount of space. And in many cases, they remain on your drive long after the update finished successfully. Web browsers also store large amounts of data over time. To make websites load faster, browsers save images, scripts, and other files locally in something called a cache. The idea is simple. If you visit the same website again, the browser can reuse those files instead of downloading them again. This speeds up loading times. But every website you visit adds more data to that cache, and eventually it can grow very large. Cloud storage can also contribute to the problem. Many people assume files stored in the cloud exist only online, but that's not always true. Often your computer keeps local copies so you can open them instantly. That means some files exist both in the cloud and on your device, which slowly uses more space. Another common place where space disappears is the Downloads folder. For many users, it becomes a digital junk drawer. It collects installers, documents, images, and files that were downloaded once and then forgotten. Each file might seem small, but over time the folder grows larger and larger. The good news is that most of this storage space can be recovered. Modern operating systems include tools that show how your storage is being used. When you check this overview, you may discover that temporary files, browser cache, and downloads are using far more space than expected. Cleaning these areas can quickly free large amounts of storage. Removing temporary files, clearing browser cache, organizing the downloads folder, and deleting programs you no longer use can make a noticeable difference. None of these tasks take very long, but together they can restore a surprising amount of space. When your drive has more free space, your computer often feels faster and easier to manage. Systems work more efficiently when they have room to create temporary data and perform background tasks. By clearing out unnecessary files, you give your computer the space it needs to operate properly. The important thing to remember is that most full hard drives are not caused by the files you intentionally save. They are usually filled by invisible digital clutter that slowly builds up in the background. Temporary files, browser cache, system backups, old downloads, and hidden system data quietly accumulate while you use your computer. Once you understand that, the situation becomes much less mysterious. It's simply a matter of occasional cleanup, checking your storage overview from time to time, clearing temporary files, and organizing your downloads folder can keep your system from filling up again. And when you start doing this regularly, something interesting happens. Those frustrating storage almost full warnings begin to disappear, because now you understand where the space actually goes, and you know exactly how to take control of it.